Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this little section on from Flight Safety Detectives. And I'm here with Todd Curtis, and we're here to give some basic information about a recent mid-air collision between a helicopter and a aircraft in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. So right now, the facts are a single-engine general aviation aircraft collided with a police helicopter that was on a routine training flight in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, killing its pilot and injuring two pilots on board the helicopter. Again, I'm John Goglia, and I'm here with Todd Curtis, and welcome to the Flight Safety Detectives.
On August 19, 2026, at 6:51 p.m. local, a Cessna 150H model collided with a Pennsylvania State Police Bell 407 helicopter just north of the runway at Carlisle Airport in Pennsylvania.
The Cessna 150 is a two-seat general aviation aircraft, and it was attempting to land on Carlisle Airport's runway 28 when it collided with a Pennsylvania State Police Bell 407 helicopter that was hovering over a grass area just north of the runway, just over an hour before sunset.
The Cessna 150 pilot was killed as a result of the collision, and the airplane itself was destroyed. According to a press briefing by NTSB air safety investigator Aaron McCarter, the two pilots aboard the police helicopter had both survived with injuries and are recovering.
The aircraft, the Cessna 158, it had a valid operating certificate that was issued in 2025. The airplane was clean, having not had any entries on the airplane since 1990, when it was involved with a loss of engine power on takeoff and approach. An NTSB briefing about this accident confirmed the pilot was a certified flight instructor as well.
The Airman database lists the individual as having obtained a commercial pilot's license in November 2010 with a rating that included airplane single-engine land and airplane multi-engine land, as well as an instrument rating. He had a second-class medical license dated May of 2025 and a basic med course, as well as a CMEC listed on his record dated October 2024. The same record also lists this individual as having obtained a flight instructor certificate in February 2026 with ratings for a single engine and instrument.
A statement given by the NTSB air safety investigator, Mr. McCarter, identified the pilot of this aircraft as conducting maintenance on the aircraft the day before the collision, without specifying significance one way or the other of the fact to the outcome of this accident.
The police helicopter involved in this accident was owned by the Pennsylvania State Police and registered in Hershey, Pennsylvania, had no prior accidents in the NTSB accident database. As for weather, there was no weather data available for the Carlisle Airport. The data provided is for the nearby KCXY Capital City Airport, located in New Cumberland, Pennsylvania. And this was reported at roughly 4 minutes after the collision. It stated that the conditions were clear, 10 miles of visibility, and a wind component of 270 degrees at 5 knots and no stated gust. According to data from the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, the sun was calculated to be roughly at 276.5 degrees, which is more or less down the center line of the runway. The landing runway was runway 28 at Carlisle Airport, and 4.5 degrees to the north of the runway's true heading. Its elevation at that time was 11.95 degrees.
Carlisle Airport carries an FAA identifier as N94, and it is a non-towered airport. Runway 1028 is the only runway, and it measures 4,000 feet long by 60 feet wide.
According to ADSB Exchange, the state police helicopter had two previous flights that day at roughly 5 p.m. and 4 p.m., 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. local time, both consisting of pattern work around the nearby Capital City Airport in New Cumberland, Pennsylvania.
Again, the ADSB Exchange data for the Cessna 150H shows that the accident flight was on second flight of the day. The first flight departed Carlisle Airport around 12:10, headed on a southwesterly direction.
The ADSB Exchange data picks up again when the aircraft is operating on the accident flight itself at about 6:42 p.m., southeast of the town of Heberling, on a northeasterly heading, was relatively parallel to its southwesterly heading outbound earlier in the day. The azimuth of the sun at this time, which was 51 minutes and 3 seconds after the hour, was 276.3 degrees, and its elevation was 12.12 degrees.
In a briefing to the press on August 21st, the NTSB air safety investigator stated the following regarding the Cessna 150. The video evidence that we have showed that it was flying in an unusual attitude. It was in a steep nose pitch up attitude, right wing low. Wings were rocking back and forth, and then it temporarily leveled off and, for reasons unknown, flew off the right side of the runway, that's runway 28, and impacted the helicopter. Earlier in the briefing, he stated that at 1851, the helicopter crossed the runway threshold and taxied about 2,000 feet down the runway and departed the runway surface in a hover taxi. It was about 30 to 50 feet inside the grass area, in his words, well off the runway surface. Shortly after that, the Cessna 150, which appeared to be out of control at that point, slammed into the tail rotor and boom of the main rotor blades, resulting in the fatal loss of life for the pilot and 2 serious injuries to the helicopter pilots. It was additionally reported that the pilots of the 2 aircraft had some unspecified radio communication with one another prior to the crash. Longtime listeners to this program may notice a real distinct change in our format. We're trying to do things a little bit differently, and we're trying to include on these early reports a lot of the data which we're looking at in an effort to stay on top of the accident and be able to brief everybody with as much data, accurate data, as we can. So if we have any comments or questions, concerns, or anything else from our audience, just please let us know. And I would also ask everybody to please refrain from picking up and doing all these probable causes that I see online. Everybody's throwing something out there. There's a number of things. Some of them are close to obvious. You can, if you listen to the NTSB briefings, you could see some of his frustration with some of the comments that are out there. You know, we all know that there's some possibilities that are pretty obvious from the accident, but we don't know all the details yet. So before we go pointing fingers at anybody, let's just wait until we get all the data, please. And with that, Todd, I'll give you the last word.
My last word is, this show shows you that there's a lot of data from even what would be considered a minor accident. Many factors come into play here, and just about everything is on the table right now because the investigation has just begun. So my last word is, be patient, follow the facts, and listen to the investigative authority, which in this case is the NTSB.
Thank you so much for listening to the show. We really value all of our listeners and subscribers. Our podcast gets ranked by you. So if you like this, give us 5 stars inside your podcast platform.
We want to keep the conversation going with you. So we'd love for you to engage with us on our social media channels. We're on Instagram, X, Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course, YouTube.
You can email the show at flightsafetydetectives@gmail.com. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, we're working on growing this channel, and it really helps if you all comment. So please do that. We read them all.
And be sure to subscribe.
For decades, Avemco Insurance Company has been an advocate for pilot safety by promoting and sponsoring continuous pilot training and education. One of their initiatives has been to reward pilots who actively participate in being more proficient, with savings on their insurance premium through the Avemco Safety Rewards program. Pilots save by earning new ratings, getting recurrent training, participating in the Fast Team Wing program, and listening to podcasts like ours and other Avemco-related courses and training. Call 888-879-0389 for a free quote, or visit avemco.com/flight safety. Don't forget to tell them the Flight Safety Detective sent you for an automatic 5% off.